to the Leah Noel Design Co. YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to decoupage with wrapping paper. So I actually got this wrapping paper from society6.com, and it's a thicker paper, and I find that it's really only good for flat surfaces. So if you're thinking about using a paper like this, it's just best on flat surfaces because it's not like a rice paper or any kind of really flexible paper. It's almost like a poster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the iron method today. And I have painted this with 1 coat of chalk paint, and then I put a thick layer of like clear coat or polyacrylic. Anything will work. You can use any kind of like polyacrylic. Let it dry. I used Renner. I put it on thick and I let it dry. You could use 2 coats. I only used 1 and I just put it on really thick, and it doesn't really matter like how it looks, okay? Because we're gonna cover it up. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna line my paper up and I'm going to measure it to cut it. So I'm just gonna like set this edge up against here. And the reason I painted black underneath is because my main color on this paper is black, so if I have like a uneven cut or something like that, it won't show as much, so it's going to be more forgiving on my mistakes. So here you can use like a credit card or anything flat to help you push down right here, and you're going to just push it in the crease, and that's going to create a crease, and this is where you're going to cut your paper. I'm going to go ahead and lay my paper on here, and we are gonna iron it on. So the next thing you're gonna need is an iron and just a regular clothes iron, parchment paper. So you wanna make sure you're using parchment paper because that is what's gonna keep your paper here from burning. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna open up my parchment paper and I'm gonna lay it on here, and I'm gonna take my iron. I have it on the highest setting. I should probably turn it down just a bit. And I am gonna iron this on. Now what this is gonna do is this is gonna heat up the clear coat underneath, and it's going to make this paper adhere. Super easy. I'm just gonna go kind of slow. I'm gonna go to the highest setting. Really want to get my corners in. And it's working. It's starting to stick. So I'm just gonna go over this slowly until it's adhered. Now I wanna make sure that I don't go over my paper without the parchment paper because it will remove the color, especially with the Society 6 paper. So I'm just gonna take this off and kind of see what my progress is. It's looking good. I can tell that some of my paper, if I go like too much longer, it's gonna fade it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull my paper down. And I'm gonna just keep going over it. Keep it moving. So now that I'm at the bottom, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off. So I'm gonna just pull this under because it's gonna be the easiest way to go about it. And I'm just gonna pull this across with my box cutter. There we go. And now I'm gonna be able to adhere it the rest of the way. your paper's adhered. Now, I would recommend that you seal this with a clear coat, a polyacrylic, maybe the same thing you used underneath. The reason is because this is just paper, and if someone goes to wipe this in the future, it may smear. So I like to pull this in my spray booth and actually spray it with polyacrylic, but you can also seal it by hand, just depending on what kind of wrapping paper you are using. Test it in a small spot, or make sure you seal it with a really light hand. Like, you don't want to go on it with like a polyacrylic and just pull down, because you could pull that ink depending on what kind of wrapping paper or poster board you're using. So just make sure you're using a really light hand, or if you have the option to spray, I would recommend spraying. Thank you guys for watching today. Please like and subscribe for more furniture artistry tips.